Handicapper Steve here, handicapping the racing from Aqueduct Racetrack here on Saturday. It is April the 7th, 2018. I'm going to look at all the stakes races on today's program from Aqueduct, including the Wood Memorial. But before I get on to that, remember to please follow me on Twitter at Horse Racing Kid 5 for more selections for race courses around the world. You know, it's Wood Memorial Day from Aqueduct, and the Wood Memorial, in my eyes, is like the turn into the spring season. But we're not getting any spring weather as of yet. It's still kind of very cold. I think that was proper English, but you know, hopefully the warm weather comes on next week. But yesterday on Friday we did run some turf races at Aqueduct, and those were very nice races. So the spring is here in slight ways, but still looking forward to that warm weather, which we haven't gotten yet. It's gonna be in the upper 40s on Saturday at Aqueduct, so bundle up a little bit. Gonna look at all the stakes races on today's program from Aqueduct. Races 6, 7, 8, 9, and the feature 10th race to Wood. So let's get on to it. Starting off at race number 6 from Aqueduct. The 6th race, it's the 123rd running of the Gazelle Stakes, Grade 2, purse $300,000. It's for 3-year-olds here. Field of 6 horses going the 1,800-meter trip, if you want to go to that, or the distance of ground of 1 mile and 1/8 on the Aqueduct main track. 1,800 meters, a mile and 1/8. Top pick in this race, I like the number 1 horse here, the number 1 Most Shopping. I'm gonna go 1-5-2-3 in the superfecta. 1-5-2-3 super. Top pick number 1, Most Shopping. 3-0 filly by Uncle Mo. John Velasquez gets the leg up on this one. This horse's most recent outing came on the 17th of March at Laurel, 1 mile in the by-end wire stakes. You know, this was a weird race for this horse. She finished third by 3 1/4 lengths. She just stalked that day, and you know, had a little bit of a run, but you know, it took a lot for her to get going at the end. You know, but I do think with a mile and 1/8 here, 2 turns, getting the veteran rider up of John Velasquez, I do think she could run well. She has that kind of stock position from the rail, which I like. She's also getting a little bit of break of weight here, which I think is nice. 114 pounds. A few of the other horses are getting 120, which is quite high. But I do like a 6-pound difference here. Start before the 19th of February at Aqueduct. Money going 1 mile. Starter allowance for 50,000. She won by 2 lengths that day. She was a little bit wide at the top of the lane, but other than that, she closed up well, sitting about mid-pack early on in the race. Nice victory for this horse. And then Boxing Day, 26th of December at Gulfstream, 7 furlong, maiden 50. This horse won by 4 1/4 lengths that day. You know, this horse sat back early, got the lead in the stretch, was a little bit wide, but she had a very nice victory. But while she was wide in the top of the lane, she did get a little traffic trouble. It got a little tight for this horse, but you know, she went away with it. You could throw out her first career outing at Belmont. She tried the turf and she hated it. 6 furlongs, main stretch weight for 75 on the 20th of October. She finished 9th by 10 1/4 lengths. Never showed up as a very heavy favorite, but you know, to dirt today, I think this horse should run well. Watch out. So to recap my bets for the 6th from Aqueduct, it's the 123rd running of the Grade 2 Gazelle. Gonna go with the 1 horse Most Shopping. Gonna go 1-5-2-3 in the superfecta. So now let's get on to race number 7 from Aqueduct. The 7th race, it's the 106th running of the Excelsior Stakes, or is it the handicap? Grade 3, purse $150,000. It's for 4-year-olds and upwards. Field of 7 horses going the distance of ground of 1,800 meters, or a mile and 1/8 on the Aqueduct main track. Mile and 1/8. And I show the diagram. Remember, it just gives me a second to look down my notes. Just bear with me. Sorry, I'm stupid. Can't do 2 things at the same time. In the last few years, this race was run at the distance of a mile and 1/4. This year, they put it back to the distance I always remembered it at a mile and 1/8. So, you know, I don't know why they took it back to a mile and 1/8. Personally, I think there's not enough mile and 1/4 races. But, you know, other than that, it is still a decent race. This is the beginning of a Naira Bets Pick 5. I think starting today, if you're an account holder for Naira Bets, they'll be offering a late Pick 5 on every single race day from Naira, which is quite good, you know. Sign up for Naira Bets if you can. I know some places you can't, but I live here in New York City, so you can. My top pick here in this field of 7 horses, I like the 7 horse Control Group. I'm going to go 7-4-1-5 in the superfecta. 7-4-1-5 super. Top pick number 7, Control Group. 4-year-old colt by Posse. Kendrick Caramouche gets on this one for Rudy Rodriguez. Source's most recent outing came last week on the 31st of March, last Saturday at Aqueduct. A mile and 1/8 in the Mr. Sinatra. First start in 2 months or 9 weeks. This horse won by length that day. Broke on top and didn't look back. Had a very nice, easy victory. Could have won by more, but I don't think Kendrick Caramouche wanted to really kill the horse that day. A very easy race with a quick turnaround. I do think this horse should run very well. Rick Dutra was known for the big, quick turnarounds. I think years ago, but we all know what happened to him. Rudy Rodriguez used to ride quite a bit when he was a rider for Rick Ducho. I remember once years ago, probably about 2004 or 5, or Belmont opening day. I went with my grandfather, so it has to be 2004 because he passed away in late 2004. The opening day of the spring meet, and Rudy Rodriguez had a horse in whatever the first one of the allowance races on opening day of the spring meet at Belmont, and I think the horse won. Later that week, he ran it in the Westchester that Saturday, which is it's something always reminds me of when I see when horses turn around very quickly. It was that opening weekend at Belmont 2004. Can't remember the horse, but everybody has good memories. But start before. This horse ran 21st of January at Aqueduct, mile 8th in the Alex Robb. Horse won by 4 lengths again. It was a lesser quality race, but this horse just took off clear and had a very nice, easy victory. And then before that, Aqueduct, mile 8th in the Grade 3 Discoverer. For 3-year-olds, this horse won by 3 lengths that day. Again, broke on top and didn't look back from a little bit of a wide trip. A very easy race. This horse is 5 for 3 on the surface at Aqueduct. Is 3 for 3 in his last 3 starts at this distance. He has the speed from this. He has the speed to win here, and I like him a lot. His only loss in his last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 was a second place finish in the Empire Classic Handicap at Belmont, facing older horses for the second time. He finished second by 3 lengths. He dueled a little bit early, and I think that cost him the race. He just, he held on for second, but the dueling has to go away. But I like him a lot here today. Watch out for this horse to run a big one. So to recap my bets for the 7th race, the 106th running of the Grade 3 Excelsior. Gonna go with the number 7 horse Control Group. Gonna go 7-4-1-5 in the superfecta. So now let's get on to race number 8 from Aqueduct. The 8th race, it's the 118th running of the Carter Handicap Grade 1, purse $400,000. It's 4-year-olds and upwards. Field of 11 horses going the 1,400 meter trip, or the distance of ground of 7 furlongs on the Aqueduct main track. 7 furlongs, 1,400 meters. Top pick in this race, I like the number 7 horse here. Number 7, not number 7, number 2 horse here. Sorry, what the hell am I saying? Sorry, I've been talking for 7 minutes. And like I said before, I'm stupid. My top pick in this race, I like the number 2 horse, not the number 7 horse. The 2 horse Army Mule. Gonna go 2-6-11-8 in the superfecta. 2-6-11-8. Super in the superfecta. 2-6-11-8. Top pick number 2, Army Mule, 5-2. 4-year-old called by Frisian Fire. Joe Bravo gets legged for Top Pletcher. This horse is making his first start in 9 weeks. 9 weeks ago on the 31st of January at Gulfstream. 6 furlongs, optional 25, claimer non-1. This horse won by 7 1/2 lengths that day. Didn't break all that well, but other than that, this horse sat back early, got the lead, and then took off clear. It was a very easy victory that day at 20 cents to the dollar. Just keep in mind the second place finisher, Harry Heat, won next start out, but he just destroyed that field. And also, it was the horse's first start since the 30th of April of 2017. That came at Belmont, 6.5 furlong main special weight for 75. Against the older horses, this horse won by 8.5 lengths, sat back early, but took off clear after a little bit of wide trip at the quarter pole. Very easy victory that day. He's 2 for 2 sprinting. I like him here going 7 furlongs off a break. He's been training well. 5-2. I would single this horse in a multi-race, getting the veteran Jersey Joe Bravo up. Watch out for this one. So to recap my bets for the 8th from Aqueduct, it's the 118th running of the Grade 1 Carter Handicap. Gonna go with the 2 horse Army Mule. Gonna go 2-6-11-8 in the superfecta. So now let's get on to race number 9 from Aqueduct. The 9th race, it's the 58th running of the Bayshore Stakes, Grade 3, purse $250,000. It's for 3-year-olds. Fields of 7 horses going the distance of ground of 1,400 meters, or 7 furlongs on the Aqueduct main track. 7 furlongs. My top pick in this race, I like the number 4 horse here a lot, National Flag. I'm going to go 4-6-5-1 in the superfecta. 4-6-5-1 super. Top pick number 4, National Flag, 7-5. Flavian Pratt is on this one, the trio called by Spicetown. Top Pletcher trains this one. And before I get onto this horse, the Bayshore Handicap, or the Bayshore Stakes, my favorite memory of this race comes from 2005, seeing Lost in the Fog in person win this race. very easily on a very nice day at Aqueduct. He's probably one of the most underrated horses, I think, of the last of the century. Well, not this century, but this millennium, shall I say? Since the 2000s, he lost in the fight. He doesn't get enough credit, I think, because he was a great sprinter. I think probably the only thing that knocks him would say he was based at Golden Gate, facing those crappy horses. But you have to think he did win the King's Bishop as a 3-year-old. He won the True North, I believe, at Belmont Stakes weekend, or the Riva Ridge, whatever they call it, or I think it's called the Woody Stevens now. He did travel. His only loss, one of his only losses, came in the British Cup Sprint, where I think he went a little bit too early, and don't think Russell Bays was really, familiar with Belmont, but he was a great horse. He doesn't get enough credit, and he won this race very easily in 2005. And it's one of those memories that will always stick out for me. But this national flag, I don't think he's as good as Lost in the Fog, but I think he can get the job done here today. His most recent outing came on the 2nd of March at Gulfstream. 7 furlongs, opposite 75, claimer down 1. His horse won by 2 3/4 lengths, broke on top, and he just sat second most of the race, got the lead and took off clear. Won very nicely. It was a very easy victory off a break. Before that, the 4th of September at Saratoga, 7 furlongs in the hopeful. His horse finished 5th by 7.5 lengths, set the pace early on, but he kind of weakened out of it. And just to keep in mind, he didn't have the best of breaks either, so he had to be rushed a lot. And then Saratoga, 6 furlongs, main special weight 83,000. Horse won by 1 1/4 lengths. Wide post draw. Didn't have the best of breaks that day. Didn't have the best of trips early on, but he did get the job done at the end against those quite lesser quality horses. He's a perfect sprinting horse. His last one was very good. He's good post draw here today. Should like the distance. Watch out for this horse to run a big one. So to recap my bets for the 9th from Aqueduct, it's the 58th running of the Grade 3 Bayshore. Gonna go with the 4-horse National Flag. Gonna go 4, 6, 5, 1 in the superfecta. So now let's get on to race number 10 from Aqueduct. It's the featured of the Aqueduct Meet. The 10th race, it's the 94th running of the Wood Memorial, presented by Naira Bets, Grade 2 per $750,000. It's for 3-year-olds here. Field of 9 horses going the 1,800-meter trip, or 1 mile and 1/8 on the Aqueduct main track. 1,800 meters, 1 mile and 1/8. And the last horse to win the Derby coming out of this race was Funny Side in 2003. I believe he finished 2nd or 3rd to Empire Maker. The last horse, I believe, to win this race and then win the Derby was Fusaichi Pegasus in 2000. In the years past, this race is not really so popular anymore with Derby winners. But last year, you did have, for the first time in quite a while, you did have the Preakness winner who finished 2nd. The Preakness winner ran this race last year and finished 2nd, ran quite well. I can't remember the horse's name, Cloud Computing, I think it was. But hopefully this year we do have a Derby winner from this race. Looking over right now, it's going to be quite hard, but hopefully, by the time the Derby comes around in 4 weeks, these horses mature and we could have a horse from this race win it. Because, this is my hometown race, basically. And, it would be quite nice to see the horse that wins this race win the Derby again. But, they're going to have to do a hell of a lot to win. Because I do think the better horses for this Derby season are out in California and in the Midwest at Oaklawn. But hopefully, some horses do well from this race. My top pick in this one, I like the number 8 horse here, Restoring Hope. He is coming up from Southern California to run. I'm going to go 8-2-9-5 in the superfecta, 8-2-9-5 superfecta. Top pick number 8, Restoring Hope. I hope he's restoring some hope to have a Derby winner from this race. 4-1, Flavian Pratt coming in from Southern California to ride this drill colt train, owned by the Gary and Mary West. Bob Baffert trains this one. Trying to think, has Flavian Pratt ever ridden an Aqueduct? I don't think so. If I'm not, I might be mistaken, but I'm pretty sure he's never ridden here. But it's probably an easy track to get your head around. It's not like Belmont, which you have to really know. But this horse's most recent outing came on the 2nd of February. That came at Santa Anita, mile 16th in a main special weight for 54,000 for 3-year-olds. His horse finished won that day by 3.5 lengths that day. He stalked early, a little dueling towards the midpoint of the race, but he got the job done. He won very nicely. Very easy race at 80 cents a dollar. Since then, they took this horse to the sideline, and he's been training very well since then. But before that, as a 2-year-old, 30th of December at Santino, mile 16th, main special weight 54. His horse finished 3rd by 4 1/4 lengths that day. And, He stalked early, got the lead, and then got overtaken right before the wire. He just couldn't get that extra kick at the end. And then I Los Al, 6 furlongs, December the 17th, main special weight 41,000. Horse finished second by nose. He sat back early, but he was coming up at the end. He just missed, but it was a very respectful second place finish. He's been training well at Santa Anita. 5 furlong workout 59.4, and Santa Anita workout 6 furlongs 112-1. Best workout 24. Training well. I think he should run a big one here today. Another horse I think can run a big one here is the number 2 horse, Farines Fire. Manuel Franco gets on. Franco gets on this one for Jason Service, and this horse has been running in the local preps for the Derby here at Aqueduct, and his best race was in the Jerome, where he won very easily, but he was the heavy favorite, and he was the best horse by a mile, but he won that race very easily. He finished second in the Withers, where he just had a little bit of a bad inside trip early on, and then after that he finished fourth in the Gotham, where he just didn't have the best of trips, but from the inside I do think he'd get a great trip, and I think at 6-1 you should have him on your pick 4 or pick 5 ticket. Watch out for him to run a big one. A horse I don't really like in this race is Enticed. I think he's going to have a very big challenge here today. He's not going to get the best trips like he did last time in the Gotham. He just scares me a lot in this race, because I don't think he's that good. I think he's a little overrated in this spot. But if he wins 5 mile, I'll congratulate him. But for me personally, I don't think he's not the horse for me in this race. I think the top 2 in my eyes are the 8 horse Restoring Hope, and the 2 horse Friends Fire, and also Vino Rosso. I think could run a big one, so he might be used on my pick 5 ticket also. See how my ticket plays out and see how much it costs if I have enough. But for sure 8-2 on my pick 4 ticket or pick 5, whatever I'm playing. So to recap my bets now for the 10th from Aqueduct, it's the 94th running of the Grade 2 $750,000 Wood Memorial. Gonna go with the 8 horse Restoring Hope. Gonna go 8-2-9-5 in the superfecta. So good luck to all, and please follow me on Twitter at Horse Racing Kid 5. Goodbye.